นินาสหปัญจศีลังธรรมายาจามิอนุกหังกัตถวาศีลังเดทะเมพันเตดุติยมปิอัมพันเตติสรณินาสหปัญจศีลังธรรมายาจามิอนุกหังกัตถวาศีลังเดทะเมพันเตตติยมปิอัมพันเตติสรณินาสหปัญจศีลังธรรมายาจามิอนุกหังกัตถวาศีลังเดทะเมพันเต
ยะมหาวดามิตังวติทะ
อาหาพันเต
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะ
พุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิ
พุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิ
สังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิ
สังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ทุติยมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ทุติยมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ทุติยมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ทุติยมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ทุติยมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ทุติยมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ตติยมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ตติยมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ตติยมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ตติยมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ตติยมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ตติยมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิ
ติสรณกัมมนังปริภูณัง
อามาคันติ
ปานาติปาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
ปานาติปาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
อาเดนาทานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
อาเดนาทานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
กาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
กาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
มุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
มุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
สุราเมรยะเมจปมาดฐานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
สุราเมรยะมัจจปมาดฐานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
อิดามิปุญญัง
อิดามิปุญญัง
อาสวะขยา
อาสวะขยาว
ะหังโหตุ
วะหังโหตุ
อิดามิสีลัง
อิดามิสีลัง
นิบานัสสะ
นิบานัสสะ
ปัจเจโย
ปัจเจโย
โหตุ
โหตุ
ติสรณีนาสหปิญจศีลังธัมมังสาธุกังกัตถวะอัปปมาเทนะสัมปาทิทะ
อามาคันติสาธุสาธุสาธุ
นี่อย่าเราไปถึงตะเกียบลูกคนเลยที่การละเลียนะชดละเลียนะเขาเป็นลูกแอนหรือชดละนะ Let's pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma
Buddhassa
Yoga Bhagoti Ibiyabamiyan Galangarundo Didogarani Hirangado Logai Daya Nato Namo Magarunikata Tata Yo Nato Winyam Yazwa Tatawai Chanda Siva Lula Donda Gumbong Katapien Nata Minya Jinshinomya Vyadi Kabagodi Hibi Garegaba Yedwet Dincharu Piendoli Abameya Yedwet Dainda Hobyajin Hamaswana Mato Kala Le Dinche Dinigaba Shichado Kala Palo Adido Garani Osa De Chile Enga Meta Jima Damida Ne Detazani Sunjinji Hu Chetita Wengadwesu Alun Kayendo Murogo Karondo Beabia Yitan Jogo Adodomuyadi Piwe Hiran Leche Melo at the soul Nalong Se Wan Goroi Pimanjendo Kato Boadanda Jimpamyazwa Yautom Gaya Shalibi Magaruni Gata Tatawamya Yeweta Ketu Tanachikin Magrunashim Pitomudo Tata Nadata Winia Myazwa Tatawai Chanda Siva Lula Donda Gumbong Katapien Nata Minya Tushinomya Pia Namo Yude Byong Byo Mangolio Yue Kato Yuju Shikojindi Atu Bawadu Sinzemetwe Pipaze Dadi
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, you know, when you get Dhamma talk, I used to take the mic. Okay, now we have already paid homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tata 3 times and also by reciting the stanza. So, what is the topic of Dhamma talk today?
Nibbāna.
4 conditions for the realization of Nibbāna. Okay, the sister Philin already announced. 4 conditions for the realization of Nibbāna. So, now, I would like to, now you are listening to the Dhamma. You are listening to the Dhamma. So I would like to ask you, what is the reason? What is the purpose to come here to listen to the Dhamma? You don't know why? What is the purpose to come here? To attain Nibbāna. Okay, if you want to attain Nibbāna, first, you should try to know sufferings. Without knowing of the sufferings, you don't want to attain Nibbāna. Even though you say, I would like to attain Nibbāna, but you are still walking. You are still staying together with your family. So only just say, to hear good sound. So, if you want to really attain Nibbāna, first you should try to know the sufferings. What are sufferings? The Buddha explained in many suttas. For example, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, Mahasatipatthana Sutta, etc. What are sufferings? Jati pi dukkha, jara pi dukkha, yati pi dukkha, marana pi dukkha. Jati pi dukkha, birth is suffering. What is suffering? Birth. Birth is suffering. now you began as a human being. Actually, you obtain the sufferings. You don't know yourself. Why? The Buddha continued to explain Jarabi Dukkha, Pyadibi Dukkha, Jarabi Dukkha. Aging is sufferings. Okay, aging is sufferings. After you were reborn as a human being, you want to stay as young person. You don't want to become old. You don't want to become old person. That's why, birth is sufferings. If you can stay according to your desire as young person, then the life is very happy. We cannot say it is sufferings. But according to your desire, you cannot stay as young person. You become slowly old. That's why the Buddha continued to explain Jarabi Dukkha. Aging is suffering. Okay? After that, the Buddha continued to explain Pyadibi Dukkha. Okay, when we were reborn as a human being, according to the human's nature, we were become old. We can accept because this is the nature. But we want to stay as a healthy person. But can you stay or not? According to your desire, you cannot stay. Okay? You cannot stay. Sometimes you sick very seriously. Nowadays there are a lot of diseases. When you get sickness, then very difficult to cure, very difficult to treat. That's why the Buddha explained Pyadibi Dukkha. Then, when we were reborn as a human being, according to the nature, we will become old. If we can stay according to our desire for long times, 100 years, 200 years, do you want to stay? But, even though you want to stay, you cannot stay. Why? We must die one day. Nobody can avoid death. We must experience. We will experience one day. Do you want to experience this suffering? Nobody wants to experience. But everybody must experience. That's why the Buddha continued to taught Maranabi Dukkha, death is sufferings. So now, can you accept the Buddha's teaching? Yes, the Buddha knows Jarabi Dukkha, birth is suffering. Jarabi Dukkha, aging is suffering. Pyadibi Dukkha, sickness is suffering. Maranabi Dukkha, death is suffering. That's why the Buddha explained, the Buddha taught. Nobody wants to experience this suffering. Then, why we have to suffer? Why we are experiencing these many kinds of sufferings? Do you know? Because we don't know the Four Noble Truths. In other words, you don't attain Nibbāna yet. That's why you are experiencing these many types of sufferings. When you really know these sufferings, then you will find the way to escape from these sufferings. You will search to be free from these sufferings. That's why if you want to escape from these sufferings, you should try to realize Nibbāna. You should try to know the Four Noble Truths. Okay, now you know what are suffering. Do you want to experience these sufferings? Nobody wants to experience this suffering, but you must experience. You cannot avoid it. If you want to escape from these sufferings, you should try to know the Four Noble Truths. You should try to attain Nibbāna. That's why the Buddha appeared in this world. That's the way for realization of Nibbāna. The Buddha appeared in the world, then the Buddha taught the way for realization of Nibbāna for us. Only you just follow the Buddha's instruction. When you follow the Buddha's instruction, when you practice in accordance with the Buddha's teachings, you will be free from these sufferings. You will escape from these sufferings. So what is the Buddha's way? What is the Buddha's teachings? So I will recite the Buddha's teaching for realization of Nibbāna. Taken from Sotapatti Phala Sutta, Sakadagami Phala Sutta, Anagami Phala Sutta, Arahata Phala Sutta of Sanyutta Nikaya, Mahavagga Sanyutta. Okay? Please listen to me attentively, carefully, mindfully. Okay? Sattaro me bhikkhave dhamma bhavita bhuligata Sotapatti phala siji kriyaya samvatanti Sakadagami phala siji kriyaya samvatanti Anagami phala siji kriyaya samvatanti Arahata phala siji kriyaya samvatanti Kadame jataro Saburisa sansevo sadama savanam Yoniso manasikaro dhammanu dhamma patipatti Imekho bhikkhave cattaro dhamma bhavita bhuligata Sotapatti phala siji kriyaya samvatanti Sakadagami phala siji kriyaya samvatanti Anagami phala siji kriyaya samvatanti Arahata phala siji kriyaya samvatanti. You know, this is the Buddha's teaching. What is the meaning? Okay, according to the translation, I will translate. Bhikkhus, these four things, when developed and cultivated, lead to the realization of the fruit of strength and purity. Lead to the realization of the fruit of one Vittana. Lead to the realization of the fruit of non-Vittana. Lead to the realization of the fruit of arahantship. What for? Saburisa Sansevo, association with good person. Sadama Savana, hearing the true Dhamma. Yoniso Manasikaro, wise attention. Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti, practice in accordance with the Dharma. Bhikkhus, these for them, when developed and cultivated, lead to the realization of the fruit of sutrain entry, lead to the realization of the fruit of one's Nibbāna, lead to the realization of the fruit of non-Nibbāna, lead to the realization of the fruit of arahantship. Okay? This is the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha taught this sutta for us, not for others. Okay? So if you really want to escape from the sufferings, if you want to attain Nibbāna, you must follow according to the Buddha's teaching. According to this sutta, there are 4 conditions for realization of Nibbāna. You know, there are a lot of noble persons in the Buddha's sasana. They follow the Buddha's these 4 instructions. They followed this way. Then they realize Nibbāna. They penetrate 4 noble truths. They escape from sufferings. So, if you want to escape from the suffering, you also should follow these 4 ways, 4 conditions. What are the 4? Number 1, Saburisa Sansewa, Pali Saburisa Sansewa, association with good person. You must follow number 1. Saburisa Sansewa, association with good person. If you want to escape from sufferings, you should associate with a good person. You must associate with good person. Who are good person? Okay, according to the explanation, Buddha and Buddha's disciple, they are good person. Number 1. Buddha and Buddha's disciple, they are good person. You know, if you don't want to associate with the good person, Buddha and Buddha's disciple, you cannot practice meditation in accordance with the Dharma, you know, according to the Buddha's teaching. If you associate with the Buddha, you know, it is the best one. But can you associate with the Buddha now? Physically. You cannot associate with the Buddha physically, but you can still associate with the Buddha mentally. Don't worry. You know, now you recite, for example, Itipiso, Bhagava, Araha, Samma Sambuddha. Now you are associating with the Buddha mentally. Even though you cannot associate with the Buddha physically, but you can still associate with the Buddha mentally. When you develop the Buddha's quality, for example, Arahant, the Buddha already destroyed all defilements by Arhata knowledge, you know, Arhata Mekha. That's why the Buddha is Arahant. According to this definition, according to this meaning, pay attention the quality of the Buddha when you recite the Buddha quality again and again, you know, Arahant, 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 Arahant. Then you are association with the Buddha. You are association with the Buddha mentally. Only you cannot associate with the Buddha physically. So even though you cannot associate with the Buddha physically, don't worry, you can still associate with the Buddha mentally. Okay, because of the Buddha already taken Nibbāna, that's why we cannot associate with the real Buddha. physically, no? We can still associate with the Buddha mentally. So you should associate with the Buddha mentally. Okay, we can also say, if you want to associate with the Buddha physically, okay, you can clean the Buddha's image. You can also offer flower, water, light, food, etc. Pay attention to the real Buddha. Then you are associating with the Buddha, both mentally and physically. Okay, we can also say, at the time of the Buddha, many people associated with the Buddha. Then when the Buddha taught one short sutta, after listening to this sutta, they realize Nibbāna. But you don't have this kind of chance. Why? The Buddha have already taken pre-Nibbāna. The Buddha has already taken pre-Nibbāna. That's why you don't have this kind of chance. The Buddha is the best person to associate. Okay, if you cannot associate with the Buddha, the best person is Arahanta. You should associate with the Arahanta person. Why? When you associate with the Arahanta person, they can show the way for realization of Nibbāna. They can teach the way for realization of Nibbāna. Then you can follow. That's why the best, until you attain Arahantship, until you become Arahanta, they can show. Amongst Arahanta also, there are chief disciples, like Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Moggallana. When you associate with this kind of person, it is the best one. If you cannot associate chief disciple, then when you can associate with the great disciple, like Venerable Ananda, Venerable Mahakassapa, Venerable Rahula, etc. Venerable Anuruddha. This is also very good. But they already taken pre-Nibbāna. It is impossible to associate with these kinds of persons. So if you cannot associate with the Arahanta person, who is the best person? Must be Anagami person. Okay? You should associate with Anagami person. Anagami person also very rare in the world. So if you cannot associate with Anagami person, you should associate with the Sagadagami person. The Sagadagami noble person. If you cannot associate with the Anagami person, okay, you can Sagadagami person, you can associate with the Sotapanna person. Okay, Sotapanna person is the last person among noble persons. So you should associate with the Sotapanna person. When you associate Sotapanna person, for example, the noble person, they will show you the way for realization of Nibbāna. They can teach. If you practice according to their instruction, then you will realize Nibbāna. You will escape from suffering. That's why you should associate with the Buddha and Buddha's disciple. These all are called Buddha's disciple. If you cannot associate with the noble person, you can also associate with the bhikkhu, who can, according to the commentary explanation, the knowledgeable and the pariyati. Knowledgeable person and the pariyati. They know pariyati, they know Tipitaka. Then they can also show the way for realization of Nibbāna. According to their instruction, if you practice, you can also realize Nibbāna. Like Mahasiva. Do you hear about the Mahasiva story? Venerable Mahasiva, okay, in ancient time, maybe the Sri Lanka times, before Sri Lanka times, there was the bhikkhus who famous in the Priyati. He taught Priyati to many students, bhikkhus. According to his teaching, according to his instruction, they practice, then they become Arahanta. How many? 80,000. Become Arahanta. He is Sri Puthojana. Ah, he is Sri Puthojana. Okay, one day, one of his disciples know when they become Arahanta, my teacher already realized Nibbāna or not. My teacher already escaped from suffering or not. When he checked his teacher, what happened? He is Sri Puthojana. Oh, then I need to help him. Then he went to his teacher. When he meet with his Mahasiva, his teacher Mahasiva, one day, my teacher, I would like to ask a question. I have no chance. I am very busy. I am very busy with the teaching. Okay, after breakfast, it is possible to ask the question? No, after breakfast, I have one class. Okay, okay. Before lunch, also I need to teach one class. After lunch also, I will be busy with maybe the students. Even night, they ask. Then he is very busy. He has no free times. Then one day, do you have any time to dine? Then he realized, oh, after saying in this way, he fly in the sky. His students fly in the sky. Then he realized, oh, actually my student came here not because of asking question. He want to show, he want to give the sense of urgency. Samveka. He want to give me the sense of urgency. Samveka. That's why he came. Then, he also decided, okay, I need to cut this all obstacle, teaching, meeting with the devotee. What happened? Then maybe after class, when his students go back from his monastery, then he also follow with his students quietly, without others knowing. Then go to the forest. Then he has one maybe mana. He know all Tipitakas. My student also become Arahanta. If I practice the meditation diligently, I will become Arahanta within short times. With this mind, with this mana, when he practice, okay, after a few days, he never attained any achievement. Then, okay, he continued to practice after 1 week. He never attained any achievement. After 1 month, he never attained any achievement. Then he spent Vasa. After Vasa, I will do Visuddhi Parana. Do you know Visuddhi Parana? Full moon day or the end of the rain retreat, we call the Trinjolavi. We have the Parana day, invitation. Okay, monks invite each other to admonish if they see their faults, their blame. Each other they can invite each other. Sangambandi Puarimi, Detena wa, Sudena wa, Prisangaya wa, Vadanduma Ayasamando, Anukamba Badaya, Pasando, Prikrisami, and this way they can invite each other. Then on this day, he will do this Visuddhi Parana. Visuddhi Parana means he will do this Parana as Arahanta persons. Then Arahanta, if they invite as 100%, then we call very pure person. No defilement. That's why we call Visuddhi Pavarana. If the Buddhana person do this Pavarana, this invitation, then we cannot call as Visuddhi Pavarana. Only this is the special name for Arahanta, Visuddhi Pavarana. So afterwards, I will do Visuddhi Pavarana. With this intention, he practiced the whole was diligently. What happened? Afterwards, he never attained any achievement. Then the Visuddhi, the Pavarana day arrived, then he cried a lot. Crying a lot. So, when you practice meditation, if you cannot attain any achievement according to your desire, according to your wish, you can cry no more. Because we have examples. But commentary explain this kind of tear as medicine. This type of tear as medicine. Medicine, even though you are sick, you have sorrow, but this kind of sorrow, soka, this kind of sick as a medicine. Save awareness. This kind of tear as medicine, this kind of dominance, we call dominance as medicine. Never mind. When you are searching for money, if you cannot gain any money, you should not cry. Don't worry. Your family never, what will happen? Never stay without any eating. They will find themselves. Don't worry. For eating, to eat, no? But when you practice meditation, if you don't take any attainment, you can cry. This kind of sickness, this kind of sorrow is sufferings, no? This kind of sorrow, maybe grief also. Sorrow is sufferings. Don't worry. So after that, he practiced the other vasa. Okay, next vasa I will do the Visuddhi Pavarana as Arahanta. When he practiced meditation, then after vasa, on this day he never did any achievement. Then he cried a lot. In this way, he practiced for 30 years. How many years? 30 years. Now, how many years already practiced? Have you practiced? Oh, 30 years. He had already practiced 30 years. Then he cried how many times? Afterwards, he cried 30 times. So now when you practice meditation, sometimes because of some maybe reason, you will experience some difficulty. Don't worry. Okay, maybe 29 years, 29 times. Okay, then 30 times. 30 times, no? 30 times. 30 years he practiced. 30 was already in the forest. At that time, he never lied down. He only eat one meal. He only wear one set of robe. Can you stay like this? He never meet with other person. Then, okay, on this day, one Devi, female Deva, also cry. When he cried, female Deva also cry. Then he heard the sound, which is crying. Then, who are you? I am a female Deva who stay in this forest near you. What he is doing, she know. then why you cry? Or when I cry in this way, I expect to realize Nibbāna. Okay, with this expression, I cried. Expectation, no? I cried. Do you understand? When I cry, I may realize Nibbāna. That's why I am crying. He joke, she joke. That's very good. And he realized, oh, he admonished himself. Siva. You know, the female Devi is joking you, so you should not be heedless. You should try very hard to attain Nibbāna, to realize Nibbāna. Then he tried with a shameful mind. With a shameful mind, then he became Arhanta very soon. He became Arhanta after 30 years. So, if you have already practiced for about 3 years, don't worry. You should continue to practice. You are there. Okay? You are there. Don't surrender. Don't stop your practice. But this one, why? You may ask, why? He need to practice for 30 years. Do you have these kinds of questions in your mind? There must be a reason. If something happened, there must be a reason. One, he has the Priyati Mana. I am knowledgeable in the Priyati. I know all Tipitaka. If my disciple become Arhanta, when I practice meditation, I will also become Arhanta within short times. Actually, this is mana, one kind of mana. This mana prevents his attainment. Okay? Another one reason, you know, Ayogara Jataka. Also maybe another Jataka. This one, the famous Ayogara Jataka. Aeon's house. The prince in the Aeon's house. Okay. That's why you should associate with the good person. If you associate with the good person, you can listen the Dharma, Jataka, etc. Then you may know. You know? In this Jataka, our body set up, Buddha to be future Buddha. There are maybe came in the queen in one country, maybe Varanasi country. Varanasi country. According to the Jataka story, if you don't know the names of the country, it must be Varanasi. You know, if you don't know the name of the country and the Jataka, it must be Varanasi. You can say maybe the 90% correct. In the same way, if you don't know the names of the king in this country, it must be Brahmadatta. He must be Brahmadatta. That's also 90% correct. Okay, so I cannot say exactly. That's why it must be Brahmadatta in Varanasi country. Then, when they give a child, what happened? Nearly 1 hour. How to do? Only one. Okay. Okay, no, I will briefly explain. Huh? Okay, the baby, when they give out one baby princess, then the yaka orchestra will come and eat. In this way, maybe a few times. Finally, our body setup was born. Then they prevent making the iron house. The queen gave birth the baby at the iron house. Then the yaka cannot take the baby. Then they take care of the baby in the iron house. Okay? For up to 60 years old. 16, sorry, 16. To make sure, 16. Okay? 16 years old. Then after 60 years old, he will become a king in this country, but he renounced all the whole country. He didn't accept, okay, this the king life. He renounced, he relinquished everything, and renounced in the forest. Go to the forest. At the time, all our prince went to the forest for meditation practice. Then many people follow with him to practice meditation in the forest. From the palace. After that, from the country. After that, from the whole city. The whole country follow with him. They practice meditation together with their prince. At the time, there was a group of drinkers. Okay, they are very happy. The whole country follow with our prince. So we will enjoy according to our desire. We will drink the alcohol, we will take the beer, we will take the wine. In this way, they enjoy. There's a group of the drinkers in this country. They don't follow to the prince. They didn't follow the prince. How long they stay? With the enjoyment of sensual pleasure, with the drinking of alcohol, etc. For 30 years. After 30 years, they also become lazy. They are not happy. They are not delightful in this country. We also need to follow to our prince to practice meditation. They follow to the forest to practice meditation. After 30 years. Among these, there was a person who will become Mahasiva. That's why when he practiced meditation, it takes for 30 years. So if something happens, there must be a reason. This reason we may know or we may not know only. So you should practice meditation. If you relinquish your property, your family, your business, then when you practice meditation, maybe it may take a little bit long. So you should immediately relinquish your family, your business, your property, then practice meditation as soon as possible. If you want to realize Nibbāna, if you want to escape from suffering. Do you want to practice? Nobody answers. Okay, so you should associate with the good person if you want to realize Nibbāna. This is one condition for realization of Nibbāna, to escape from suffering. Then, what is the second condition? Second condition, Sadhamma Savana, hearing the truth Dhamma. Hearing the true Dhamma. You should listen to the Dhamma regarding Four Noble Truths. You should listen to the Dhamma regarding the Four Noble Truths. When you associate with the good person, they will teach, they will explain the Dhamma regarding the Four Noble Truths. You can automatically listen. That's why you should also listen the Dhamma regarding the Four Noble Truths. Not only listening, for example, here, a lot of books, the Dhamma book, Tipitaka book, etc. You can also study yourself. You can learn from those who know the Buddha's teachings. This is also listening to the Dhamma, Saddhamma Savana. Okay? When you listen to the Saddhamma Savana, there are 5 advantages. If I explain about it, maybe it may take long time. Okay, so a little bit skip. Okay? Asudan Sunati, you can listen the Dhamma not heard before. Sudan Priyodapiti, you can clearly understand the Dhamma that heard before. Okay? Sudan Priyodapiti, Kenkan Vihanati, dispelling doubt. You can dispel the doubt regarding the Dhamma. No? Kenkan Vihanati, Dete Ujong Karoti, you may have a straight view. Dete Ujong Karoti, you can make the straight view. Saddhamasa Pasidati, when you listen to the Dhamma, your mind will be clear. Okay? There are these 5 advantages for listening to the Dhamma. That's why you should listen to the Dhamma. Again. This is also one condition for realization of Nibbāna. Okay? Number 1, Saddhamma Savana, association with good person. Number 2, Sabbariza Sanseva, association with good person. Number 2, Saddhamma Savana, hearing the true Dhamma, listening to the truth Dhamma. Number 3, Yoni Somanasikara, wise attention, proper attention, suitable attention. Okay? Okay. This is also one condition for realization of Nibbāna. Even though you associate with the good person, you can listen to the Dhamma from this good person. But if you have unwise attention, if you don't have Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention, then you cannot practice meditation. Okay? You don't want to practice meditation because you have unwise attention. You know the Venerable Devadatta, for example. Venerable Devadatta. Everybody knows Venerable Devadatta. He associates with the good person, the Buddha, and also chief disciple. He can also listen to the Dhamma. He can listen to the Dhamma from the Buddha and the chief disciple. But he didn't have wise attention. Yoniso Manasikara. That's why he trying to kill our Buddha. What happened? After this, he fall into the Aviji hell, Mahaniraya. That's why unwise attention. So wise attention is very important for realization of Nibbāna. If you don't have wise attention, proper attention, suitable attention, then you cannot practice meditation. Okay? This one. So Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention, proper attention is one condition for realization of Nibbāna. Okay? Then what is the 4th condition? If I explain about it, it will take a long time. That's why I only explain briefly. Number 4, Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti. Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti. Practice in accordance with the Dhamma. This is also one condition for realization of Nibbāna. You know, this is also one condition. Why? You associate with the good person. You can also listen to the Dharma from the good person. You have wise attention, yoni somana sikara. But if you don't practice in accordance with the Dharma, it is impossible for realization of Nibbāna, especially nowadays. Because you don't meet with the Buddha, real Buddha. At the time of the Buddha, when the Buddha preached the Dhamma, after the Dhamma talk, most of the people realize Nibbāna. Now I am given Dhamma talk. I am explaining the Dhamma talk, nearly finished. Nobody realized Nibbāna, I know. So you should not compete the people, okay, who were in the Buddha. That is also a reason, but later we may explain. Now we have no time to explain here. You know, that's why if you want to realize Nibbāna, you should practice in accordance with the Dhamma. Dhamma Dhamma Patipatti can be divided into two words, Dhamma and Anudhamma. What is the Dhamma? For Magajnana, for past knowledges. For Phala Jnana, for fruition knowledges. Number 9 is Nibbāna. Altogether 9. These 9 are called supra-mundane knowledges. You know, Lokottara Dhamma. We call Lokottara Dhamma, supra-mundane Dhamma. If you want to attain this supra-mundane Dhamma, 9 supra-mundane Dhamma, you should practice in accordance with the Dhamma. Anudhamma means. Anudhamma is in accordance with the Dhamma. What is Anudhamma? Buddha's teachings. In brief, 3 trainings. You know, Sila Sekha, training in morality. Samadhi Sekha, training in concentration. Panya Sekha, training in wisdom. In other words, Noble Eightfold Paths. You know Noble Eightfold Paths. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vaca, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. These are Noble Eightfold Paths, Atta Mekkinga. You should practice in accordance with this Noble Eightfold Paths. You can also say you should practice in accordance with the 7 purification of 7 stage of purification. The same Sila Visuddhi, Citta Visuddhi, Ditthi Visuddhi, etc. You can also say you should practice in accordance with the Mahasatipatthana, 4 foundation of mindfulness. They are the same. Only names are different. 3 training, Noble Eightfold Paths, 7 stages of purification, 4 foundations of mindfulness. They are the same. If you are practicing, then you are practicing the same together. But you must practice in accordance with the Dhamma, step by step, systematically, thoroughly. Okay? So now you take the 5 precepts in 3 refuges. As long as you can maintain these 5 precepts not to break, then your morality is pure. Okay? Pure morality. Even though you cannot attain any achievement in this life, if you can maintain these 5 precepts purely, then you can stay peacefully the whole life. You don't need to worry for next life also. You will be born as a human being or Deva, etc. Okay? Why? the pure morality, pure sila can produce good run. This is we only suggest for you. But when you can maintain your sila, you can only maintain. You can only control your bodily bad action and verbal bad actions. But you cannot control your mind. Understand? If you want to control your mind, you should try to practice to attain concentration. For example, by practicing Nibbāna meditation, when you attain, for example, the absorption concentration, you can stay with this absorption concentration without any defilement, as long as you can maintain this concentration. Okay? Then this is we call training in concentration, samadhi sikha. If you can maintain this concentration until you die, then you can reborn as a Brahma. You can also stay peacefully the whole life until you die. Whenever you want to stay without any defilement in this life, in this very life, you can also stay with this concentration without any defilement. That's why the Buddha asks you to continue to practice concentration. Okay? But actually, the Buddha asks you to practice meditation, to attain concentration, is to continue to practice vipassana. When you want to practice real vipassana, you must have one kind of concentrations. Without any concentration, when you practice vipassana, it will be superficial vipassana. It will be fake vipassana. Why? If you don't have any concentration, you cannot see ultimate reality, paramattha. So to be able to see the ultimate reality, you should try to attain concentration. Based on concentration, when you continue to practice according to the Buddha's teaching, you can clearly see Rupa, Nama, how they arise. Okay? When you clearly see the Nama and Rupa, we call this is Nama Rupa Pracheda Jnana. The knowledge of definition of mind and matter. Okay, analytical knowledge of mind and matter also can be called. Okay? Then when you know Nama and Rupa according to reality, then you know Dukkha Satya, the origin of the noble truth of suffering. Okay? After that, based on this concentration, you should continue to practice. You should continue to find their causes. When there is suffering, there must be their cause. When something happens, there must be their cause. Because we believe karma and its result. If you don't believe karma and its result, then you are not Buddhist, not real Buddhist. You were born as a human being. You was born as a human being because of previous kusala karma. Do you believe yourself? If you believe yourself, you are a Buddhist. If you don't believe yourself, then you are artificial Buddhist. Okay? That's why you should believe karma and its results. So if there is suffering, there must be the cause of suffering. There must be the origin of suffering. So you should try to find the cause of sufferings. Then when you continue to practice according to the teacher's instruction, you will find out their causes. Okay, in brief, avijja, ignorance, tanha, craving, upadana, clinging. Then sankhara, formation, karma, for karmic force. Okay, these 5 are the cause of suffering, the origin of suffering. Then when you can find out these 5 causes, then you realize the noble truth of the origin of suffering, samudaya sitya. So you already realize 2 noble truths, 2 sitya. When you can realize these 2 noble truths, even though you haven't attained any magga-phala yet in this life, then you will never fall into the fourfold state in this life, next life. No need to worry. This one we call Sula Sotapanna, young Sotapanna. Younger brother Sotapanna, because he is the younger brother of Mahasota, the great Sotapanna. Understand? Okay, then when you realize these 2 noble truths, these 2 noble truths are the object of vipassana. Okay, so you can practice vipassana at the times. Without realization of these 2 noble truths, without realization of rupa, nama, and their causes, you cannot practice vipassana. That's why we must try to realize these 2 noble truths first, based on concentration. Okay? Beginning from this nama rupa prasida jnana, now you are practicing. After that, you should, when you realize these 2 noble truths, then you have the object of vipassana. You can contemplate, pay attention, they are arising and passing way, then you can contemplate as anicca, impermanence. Okay, dukkha, suffering. Anatta, non-self. This is we call vipassana. This is also there will be a lot of steps, no? A lot of level. You know, samasana jnana state, udyabhya jnana state, then bhenga jnana state, attu sankharupeka jnana state. You should practice in accordance with the Buddha's teaching. Now, you know, according to your anjaya, you should practice according to the Buddha's teaching. It is very important for realization of Nibbāna. Then when you practice in accordance with the Buddha, step by step, thoroughly, systematically, then your insight knowledge, vipassana knowledge will become mature. Then at the end of the vipassana knowledge, you will realize Nibbāna. Okay? You will realize Nibbāna. When you realize Nibbāna, it will never lose. When you become Sotapanna, then you can continue to practice. This one we call Sotapanna passing. And when you realize the Nibbāna the first time, then by Sotapatipaka knowledge, then this is we call Sotapati noble passing. Sotapanna noble passing. When you become Sotapanna, you will never fall into the fourfold state. If you want to stay together with your family, if you want to enjoy with the sensual pleasure, you have chance. You can enjoy with the sensual pleasure also. You can also stay with your family at the time, no mind. Then you can also enjoy with the Dhamma pleasure. Okay? Both pleasure are available for these persons. Then, second stage, if you want to attain higher stage, you should continue to contemplate these, the nama, rupa, and their causes as anicca, dukkha, anatta, with the intention for realization of higher stage. Then, with the intention to remove the defilement which you haven't removed yet. Then, if you realize Nibbāna again, if you attain higher state again, then this is we call Sakadagami, noble persons. Then, when they become Sakadagami person, when you become Sakadagami person, then your lobha and dosa, greed and hatred are very less, very small. If you want to become Anagami person, then you should continue to practice these, two noble truths. You contemplate as anicca, dukkha, anatta, with the intention to attain higher stage, to remove the defilement which you haven't removed yet. Then, at the end of the Vipassana knowledge, you will realize another higher stage. Then this is we call Anagami noble person. Then he completely removed sensual pleasure and dosa. Okay? If you want to become Arahanta person, if you want to make the end of suffering in this life, then you should continue to practice to attain Arahanta. You should continue to practice, you should continue to contemplate these Nama, Rupa and their causes with the intention to attain Arahanta, to remove all defilements. Then, when Vipassana knowledge becomes mature, then at the end of the Vipassana knowledge, you will realize another Magga and Phala, paths and pollutions. This is we call Arahanta. Okay? This is Arahanta. When you become Arahanta, you remove all defilements completely. Okay? Then you will make end of suffering. You will escape from the sufferings. So, if you want to escape from sufferings, you should try to practice in accordance with the Buddha's teaching. So this is the last condition for realization of Nibbāna. So how many conditions for the realization of Nibbāna? 4. Number 1. Repeat after me. Sabrisa Sansevo.
Sabrisa Sansevo.
Okay. Don't repeat after me in English. In accordance with the Dhamma, okay? Number 2. Sadhamma Sawana. Sadhamma Sawana.
Sadhamma Sawana.
Okay, please repeat after me. After that, you need to recite yourself. I will never lead. Okay? I will not lead. Okay? So, Sadhamma Sawana.
Sadhamma Sawana.
Okay? Hearing the true Dhamma. Number 3, Yoniso Manasikaro.
Yoniso Manasikaro.
Yoniso Manasikaro.
Yoniso Manasikaro.
Wise attention. Okay? Number 4, Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti.
Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti.
Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti.
Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti.
Practice in accordance with the Dhamma, altogether 4 conditions for the realization of Nibbāna. So I explain these 4 conditions in brief for realization of Nibbāna. So my duty already finished. So whose duty still remains? You know yourself. So taking the example of Mahasiva, you should not, okay, stay together with what? Okay, I don't want to say, and they will get angry with me. So This one, no? So if you follow these 4 conditions, this is the Buddha's teaching. This is the Buddha's teaching. Now, many noble persons in the world, under the guidance of our Buddhas, they practice according to this Buddha's way, according to these 4 conditions. So they realize Nibbāna, they escape from suffering. If you want to really escape from the suffering, if you want to really realize Nibbāna, then you should try to practice this 4 conditions. So, if you practice in accordance with the 4 conditions, then you will penetrate the 4 noble truths. No? As long as you are practicing until you reach Nibbāna, then this is we call Magga Secca. When you realize Nibbāna, this is we call Nirodha Secca. They're altogether 4 noble truths. You realize the 4 noble truths. When you realize these 4 noble truths, then you will escape from suffering. Then you will realize Nibbāna. So by practicing, by following these 4 conditions, may you attain Nibbāna as soon as possible.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
They have already prepared to ask their questions. Okay, so...
Does anyone have any questions?
One day you explain about wise attention. Can you please explain more about wise attention? How should we pay wise attention in our daily life? And when we practice meditation, how should we have wise attention?
Okay, actually I have intention to explain about wise attention in the talk. But when I see the clock, then no time. That's why I only just explain and brief. Wise attention is yoniso manasikara. Yoniso manasikaro, di upaya manasikaro, patha manasikaro. Aneche, anechanti manasikaro. Dokhe, dokhanti manasikaro. Anattani, anattati manasikaro. Asubhe, asubhanti manasikaro. This is the wise attention. Wise attention means when you contemplate impermanence is impermanence, suffering is suffering, dukkha is dukkha. Anatta is anatta, non-self is non-self. Asubha is asubha, foulness is foulness. Then this is wise attention. Yoniso manasikara. So, according to the reality, according to the paramatha, the point of view, okay, there's no permanent things, there's no permanent things. As soon as they arise, they pass away. Even your life, you were born as a human being. You was born as a human being. But finally, what will happen? You will pass away. This is maybe the whole life. Actually, the formation, sankhara are not like this. As soon as they arise and pass away, if you have the concentration, you can see their nature. That's why all formation, all sankhara are impermanent. no firmness, no firmness. Okay? So if you pay attention, these formation as firmness, then you have wide attentions. You have wide attention. In the same way, if you pay attention as suffering, then you have wide attention. If you pay attention as non-self, you have wide attention. If you pay attention as formless, asubha, then you have wide attention. So in daily life, when I explain the one example, you may understand. The very expert physician, very expert doctor, like Jivaka. Did you hear about it? Jivaka. When he see any kinds of leaf in the tree, then he can make medicine. There's no leaf, there's no tree which cannot make as medicine. Why? He is expert in this cave, making the medicine. Understand? Okay, this leaf suitable for this disease, this leaf suitable for this disease, this tree suitable for this diseases, etc. He knows. That's why there's no leaf which cannot make as medicine. Why? He is expert in this case. He is skillful in this case. In the same way, if you have yoniso manasikara, wise attention, whatever objects you meet, you can accumulate kusala, good or bad objects. Understand? For example, because of impermanent, anicca, suffering, dukkha, this one need a little bit high level. If you the little bit high level, this one okay, only just objects, okay, and whatever object you meet here, for example, beautiful objects. When you see as beauty, what will happen? Lobha will arise, raga, craving will arise in your mind. But okay, when you change your mind as foulness, okay, ugly, then craving, dana, raga, lust, lobha, greed will not arise in your mind. Why? This is wise, because of wise attention. This is wise attention. Actually, they are not beautiful. Only a group of 32% of the body. Okay? This is the to practice in daily life. In the same way, when you see ugly objects, for example, some behave bad behavior to you, then what will happen? You will get angry. But if you pay attention, this is also a group of 4 elements. He will also die one day, I will also die one day. Only just you pay attention in this way, then you will not get angry. Okay? And this way only. Why? This is we call wise attention. Yoniso manasikara. Understand? So because of this example, whatever object you see, if you have the good intention, wise intention, then you can accumulate kusala. Bad object or good object, this is not important. Only your wise attention, good attention, yoniso manasikara is very important. If you have wise attention, good attention, then you can accumulate kusala until you reach Nibbāna. So if I explain with the soda, etc., and also the Buddha mentioned about the yoniso manasikara and Gautara Nikaya, etc., then it will take a long time. You cannot come back to you cannot come back your house. You cannot go back your house. You cannot. Then you practice here, okay? Okay. So I hope you will be able to be satisfied with my answer about yoniso manasikara.
Bhante. Thank you for your compassion for sharing the Dharma. Now, how would you actually respond to this point of view that Nibbāna is something that is very far away, especially for a lay person? Maybe Sotapanna is something that is more reachable. Thank you.
Yes. If you don't follow these four conditions, Nibbāna is far away from you, still far away from you. If you follow these four conditions, step by step, okay, then Nibbāna is very near to you. Okay? Then you know there's one, the Buddha's teaching, Buddha's explanation regarding the Nibbāna. You know, imamate brahmamate kalevare. Dukhancha, dukha samudyancha, dukha nirodhancha, dukha nirodha kaminya patipadayasa. Ati. There is four noble truths. There are four noble truths, and yes, this, one cubit of body, 1 feet of body. Better long, okay, better length of body. I don't know this English word. Dramatic delivery, no? Only believe. 1. Keep it, okay, keep it. And this body. Maybe about 5 feet. 5 feet of the body. You can find the Four Noble Truth in your body. And the 5 aggregates, no? And your 5 aggregates. There's suffering, nama and rupa in your body. You know? You can also find the cause of suffering in your body. You can also find Nibbāna, you know, the Nirodha Sacha in your body. You can find in your body. In the same way, how to find? Okay, just now I explained in brief. You should follow these 4 conditions, then you will find out the Nibbāna in your body. Understand? So, if you follow these 4 conditions, Nibbāna is not so far from you. Nibbāna is very near to you. If you don't follow these 4 conditions, Nibbāna is still far away from you. Are you satisfied with my answers?
Questions? Bhante, the question is, can Bhante continue tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow after breakfast, very soon I will be leaving.
He can follow you. I'll follow him maybe.
Yes. We have a lot of space. We have a lot of accommodation at Mimyu Center. If there's many the devotees from Singapore comes to Mimyu Center, we are welcome.
Bhante, I have a question. How do we attain the first condition to find the right wise one? Any guide to help us in this?
That's why just now I explained the first condition more detailed. You know, according to the commentary explanation, Buddha and Buddha's disciple. Okay? Then according to the Visuddhimagga's commentaries explanation one by one, you know, the best person to associate is the Buddha. Because our Buddha already taken pre-Nibbāna, that's why you cannot associate with the Buddha. Just now I explained, but you can still associate with the Buddha mentally. Okay? Then you should associate. If you cannot associate with the Buddha, okay, in brief, you should associate with the noble person. Noble person, they will not disclose they will not rebel, they are noble person. But you may understand, seeing when you associate with this person, whether they can teach meditation or not, until realization of Nibbāna. Understand? But in this way also, you may guess this is noble person, etc. So you should try to approach this good person. If you cannot approach, if you cannot associate with the real noble person, then you can also associate with the person who know the Buddha's teaching. Okay, even though they are noble person, you can still associate with them. They can also show the way for realization of Nibbāna. Don't worry. So, how can we know me? For example, now our power theology is teaching the Dhamma, for example, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Then if you follow this practice, you will never max. Okay? You can reach Nibbāna. Because of the power theology teach in accordance with the Buddha's teaching. But some criticize the power teaching is very long. We want to realize Nibbāna within short times. So how we can do? We teach in accordance with the Buddha's teaching only. We don't follow your desire. We only follow Buddha's instruction. We don't follow audience desire, people's desire. People's desire is, they want everything easily. They don't want to practice. Okay? Then in this way you can find out the good person. So now already 9 p.m. So,
There may be a brief question, but he mentioned just now during the talk that when someone is not successful in the meditation practice and you shed tears, you cry, even though it's domanassa, but it's medicine. Why did Bhante say that, please?
When they say me, in accordance with the Sakkapanya Suta's commentary. Sakkapanya Suta's commentary, maybe you may find out in the Dika Nikaya, Sakkapanya Sutta. When you practice Vedana Nupassana, there are many kinds of Vedana, the Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Samanata Vedana, etc. Among this, there is also Dhamnasa Vedana. Which kinds of Dhamnasa Vedana should be associated? Which kinds of Dhamnasa Vedana should not be associated? The commentary explains. Here, for example, you don't like one person. This person's behavior to you is not so good. Then you get angry. Oh, this is maybe we call Dhamnasa. You are not happy with this person. Then you should not associate with this kinds of Dhamnasa Vedana. You immediately remove this kinds of Dhamnasa Vedana. But you may also feel this Dhamnasa Vedana, Dhamnasa Vedana, the sad feeling when you experience with the Sandhin. Sandhin means like this meditation practice. You are practicing meditation. For example, Nibbāna meditation, you cannot control your mind. You cannot focus on the breath for a long time. Then what will happen? Sometimes you may say, even though I practice meditation for a long time, I cannot focus on the breath very well. Then you become sad. Never mind. Sometimes you can also cry. Why? This Dhamnasa Vedana, the sorrow appear dependent on meditation practice. That's why sometimes you can cry, then your body will become light. Understand? Never mind. Never mind me, the old me Bande may cry before. I never cry. Understand? This kinds of Vedana should be associated. Okay? The other kinds of dominasa, Vedana, unhappy feelings should not be associated. This is the commentary explanation. This is also assertive. Okay? This is assertive. Because you are practicing meditation, you are accumulating the highest kusala, jnana, generosity, you can do easily. Sila, then a little bit difficult to maintain for you. Okay? A little bit difficult, but you must maintain. It is difficult, I don't want to maintain. Then, according to its nature, I will make its result. That's why, even though you don't want to maintain the sila precepts, then you must maintain. This is the nature. This is the nature. In the same way, bhavana, the meditation, this is the most difficult one. You can do generosity, you can do dana, kusala, merit. You can also maintain sila. You can maintain your sila, not to break. But when you practice meditation, this is the highest kusala. Because when you practice the meditation, you can attain anti-Nibbāna. This one the highest kusala. As soon as you practice meditation, it is impossible to control your mind. You will experience suffering first. Don't worry. It is the nature. You can also ask Paul Sayadaw, now you are okay with the Buddha's teaching. Did you experience the suffering when you practice? He will answer, I had a lot of suffering. He stayed in the forest for 30 years. Sometimes he eat only 1 meal, etc. Sometimes, because of his stomach diseases, when he go for answer, he fall down in the street. Understand? Go to hospital. Why? He was searching for Nibbāna at the time. He may experience suffering. Because of this suffering, if you don't practice bhavana, vipassana, then you cannot escape from suffering. Understand? If you want to attain real happiness, don't worry to experience suffering. Okay? Now you sit for 2 hours. Maybe you may feel some dukkha, suffering, but you must listen only. In the same way, bhavana also you may experience. Even though you cannot control your mind in this way, difficult to control, but as long as you are practicing meditation, you are accumulating bhavana kusala. The meditation merits. Sometimes you may be sit. Okay? You may be sit. That's why you may be disappointed with meditation practice. At the time, never mind, you can cry. This kind of TIS medicine. Okay? This kind of TIS medicine. Okay? Finish. You still have question?
How to protect in Pali words Tuliyang, Turakan and Tuliwarian. But we can explain to how to use in our daily life, especially for our meditation. Protect. Turakan and Tuliwarian. I don't know how to pronounce. How to protect and maintain the kusala, our kusala in daily life, especially in our meditation.
Okay,
Thank you,
especially in meditation. You must accumulate various kusala merits. Okay, dana, generosity. You should also do generosity as far as you can. Okay, the offering the food to the Buddha. Then you accumulate dana kusala every daily life. Okay, you can also offer the flower to the Buddha. You can also food. You can also offer the water to the Buddha, etc. With the good mind, then you are accumulating dana kusala, generosity, dana. No? Then after that, you should take the 5 precepts in front of the Buddha if there's no the bhikkhu. No? Okay? Then you should also maintain this 5 precepts. Okay? Then you are accumulating sila kusala. Okay? Sila kusala. Don't worry, you should accumulate these kinds of kusala as far as you can. Then, after taking the 5 precepts together with the 3 refuges, then you should meditate. For example, you meditate Nibbāna meditation. Okay, Nibbāna meditation in accordance with the teacher's instructions. Here, Pandit Janaka Vivansa is a teacher here. According to his instruction, you can practice. Okay, as far as you can. For example, you can start beginning from maybe heart and hour. Okay, then when you practice again and again, then you will be able to focus on the prayers for a long time. Then you will be able to practice for longer times. For example, 1 hour, etc. Because of your practice, you can practice. If you can practice for 1 hour, then if you have the free time, you can also try to practice 1.5 hours, 2 hours, etc. As long as possible. The longer, the better. Okay? If you can practice the whole day, the whole week, the whole month, the whole year, it will be better. Okay? When you are practicing Nibbāna meditations, you can also sometimes practice for protective meditation. You know, Chatura Rakha Bhavana, Buddha Nosti. If necessary, you can also develop the quality of the Buddha. Okay, Buddha Nosti. For example, pay attention to the Buddha's image. Then you should pay attention as real Buddha. Then you should continue to pay attention the quality of Buddha. For example, Arahant. Okay, the Buddha destroy all defilement completely by Aratapa's knowledge. Then you pay attention the quality of the Arahant quality of the Buddha. Then you recite Arahant by mind. Okay, and as long as you are paying attention to the Buddha's quality, then you are developing Buddha Nosti Bhavana, recollection of the Buddha. Okay, recollection of the Buddha's quality. Then you are accumulating Bhavana Kusala. Then your faith will become stronger and stronger. Okay, based on if you have faith, if you have confidence in the practice, then Viriya will follow. Viriya, you will try normally, regularly, etc. Understand? You will accumulate kusala, dana, sila, bhavana regularly. You don't want to waste your time watching the TV, etc. Okay? Then, after that, what will happen? Sati will follow. If you practice meditation diligently, then your mindfulness will become stronger and stronger. Then when you have saddha, faith, viriya, energy, effort, sati, mindfulness, then concentration will come. Okay? So concentration, samadhi will come. when you attain samadhi concentration, then wisdom will come. Okay, wisdom is pinya. Okay, because of actually the pinya is knowing the ultimate reality is real wisdom pinya. So when you have concentration, you can know the ultimate reality by direct knowledge. Okay, that's what we call wisdom. So you will have 5 faculties, 5 powers. Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Pinya. If you have 5 powers, you can fight with any enemy. You know, power is very important. If you have power, you can fight. If you have effective weapons, you can fight with any enemy. So you have 5 powers, then you can fight with the 5 hindrances, or 5 defilements. So in order to have these 5 powers, you should also develop the Buddha's quality, okay, with the faith, saddha. This is the okay. Then there will be another maybe Dhamma talks. Okay, so let's start our Dhamma discussion now. Okay, please repeat after me to share our merit. Idame punya asawakaya Vahang hotu Idame punya Nibbāna Pecayo hotu Mama punya bagang Sabha sadhana Bhajemi Desabe Mesama punya bagang Labandu Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.